LSU leads Missouri 36-34. So far, Parker, MU doing a good job from distance.
Yeah, you look at them right now, 8 of 14 from beyond the arc, as we get a couple looks of those here. We got Morgan Stock knocking a couple down, Doty with one, and even Bree Koulis there. She's got a couple to answer back, as Morgan Stock and Bree Koulis have been the main weapons so far for the Missouri Tigers behind the arc.
Bree Koulis has 13 points. Morgan
pointers from LSU, not something you normally see from them. But again, you look at the rebounding, something we said was going to be big throughout. LSU now out-rebounding the Missouri Tigers 19-15 on the glass. And that's something you're going to have to look throughout the rest of the game.
Both teams with 8 turnovers, both teams with 10 points off of turnovers. Maybe one thing to watch and one discrepancy, LSU had 16 bench points. Missouri just had 2.
And there wasn't too many bench players getting in for Missouri. They had their pretty set 5 there that they were going with, and Pinchon really liked the way that they were playing, and so she kept them in there with a few breathers here and there.
And Plaisance and some of the other tall LSU players really did their damage in the second half of the first half, especially on the glass. I can remember one possession where Plaisance seemed like she got about 5 offensive rebounds.
I think it was a 4 or 5, but again, no points out of that.
Right.
As Missouri did a good job. Bree Koulis and Jordan Frericks doing a great job down there, making sure that they're keeping their hands up, not getting the body against Plaisance. And one thing that I saw the defense being real effective with is making Plaisance just turn around and shoot.
Sure.
If she gets a look at the basket, she's a lot more effective rather than when she's turning around and shooting the jumper.
And the other thing is, on the Missouri side, we talked about her in the open. Bree Koulis has been amazing. She didn't start very fast, but all of a sudden you look up, she's got 16 first half points.
And she had a couple big threes there to answer, big threes by Jean Kinney on the LSU side, and then hit that 3 near the end of the half after hesitating to put the Tigers within 2.
It's 42-40 in favor of LSU over Missouri at the half. When we come back, we'll have more halftime entertainment right here on MC 22. Welcome back to halftime. It's LSU 42, Missouri 40 here at Mizzou Arena, as we're about halfway through our halftime festivities. Alongside Parker Leppien, I'm Bo Bayman. Thanks to our MC22 crew as well. And so far, it's been back and forth. Missouri led by 10 in the early going, hitting 4 3-pointers very early to build a 12-2 lead. LSU with a 6-point advantage, about 5 minutes to go. Ends up being a 2-point game at the half.
Yeah, it was real back and forth, like you mentioned. Great start by Missouri. It's as good a start as you could imagine for them. We did mention about that 8.5-minute mark through the first half, though. It seemed like they should be up more than the 4 points that they were at that time with the way they'd been shooting. But a good effort by Mizzou here in the first half. And you got to imagine Coach Pinchon's in there telling them, keep this going.
Let's take a look at the SEC conference standings and why this is such an important game for both of these teams. Florida is at 3-1. South Carolina and Texas A&M are both 3-0. Missouri at 2-2. Kentucky's 2-2. LSU's 2-1. So one of these teams is going to get up there near the top, and so that's why it's such an important game tonight, Parker.
Yeah, you look at both these teams right in the middle of the pack, and a win like this can really catapult the rest of your season, especially if you're Missouri. And you look at who they got coming up, too. Texas A&M, you saw them on that graphic as well. So big stretch here for the Missouri Tigers.
No doubt about it. And Missouri at 2-2 would love to protect the home court and get that third SEC win, and then take the weekend off, which they'll do. We're at halftime. LSU leading Missouri 42-40. More after this. 42-40, LSU leading Missouri right here at halftime. Let's take a look at some of those first half highlights. And we saw a lot of action from beyond the arc, Parker.
Yeah, you do. And you saw a penetration here early by Doty, but able to kick it out. An inside-out motion that you want to see. Morgan Stock came out on fire for the Tigers. You got Bree Koulis getting in on the action early. And Morgan I even taking it down the court. And you see Morgan Stock, that confidence that she had early on. Plaisance on the opposite side for LSU. Got a little turnaround jumper there, something you didn't normally see from her. Ballard gets a 3. Lots of those in the first half. Bree Koulis, nice little screen out, sealed there. Plaisance steps out behind the arc to get a 3. A really talented player for the LSU Tigers. And again, that lucky pass we talked about with Koulis, good hand-eye coordination to get that. And Plaisance will come here, get the offensive rebound in the foul. And it's been tough for Mizzou down low.
Let's take a look at some of the first half stats. And as we talked about, the 3-pointers have been flying. Missouri already with 10 three-pointers made and 8 for LSU. So you got to believe that each coach in the locker room said, hey, let's defend the perimeter a little bit better. And we'll see if they can do that in the second half. It is 42-40 in favor of LSU over the Missouri Tigers. We'll get you set for the second half and tip it off when we come back.